Hey, it's Wellness Wednesdays. How you guys doing? So today I'm outside and it's raining. It's beautiful. But I want to talk to you guys. I don't know. A lot of you guys know me and Be Healthy Now more in the food realm. I love to talk about food. I think it's one of the most important things when we talk about health. But I'm a firm believer of dealing with health in a holistic manner. And so I actually got into health because I'm a neuromuscular therapist. Go me. I got them big words behind my name, y'all. So what an NMT, which is a neuromuscular therapist, is basically like if a physical therapist and a massage therapist had a baby, it looked like me. So I deal a lot in balance and trigger points with the body. And actually, the reason why I got so, I don't know, why I emphasize so much on food is because I learned about health through the body. So I wanted today to talk about how healing, when it comes to like body, spirit, mind, it all goes together. And I'm going to talk about it through the body and how it releases. The first example I always like to use is in anything, whatever is the problem is typically just what's showing up, but it's never the root cause. So I learned this on an experiential level through the body. And a great example is when you go in for a massage or body work, if you tell your therapist, hey, my back is hurting, they never should touch your back. Well, I won't say never, but to fix the root cause of the issue, excuse me, it's windy out here, y'all. To fix the root cause of the issue, the back is not where you actually do the work. So, say this is you and your back, and you're feeling like this, right? If you're like this is your front, and this is your back. This back area is what's hurting because your muscle on your back is literally stretching. It's like overstretched. The pain is literally telling you, yo, do something. I'm about to let go. So pain is typically something that we pay a lot of attention to, but it's almost non-existent. Like it's a perception, right? So you have neurons in your body, and when you have pain, the way you perceive it is that's the level of pain you have it. So someone could stump on your toe. It's like this. I love this example because I am kind of clumsy and I do this all the time. You ever notice like you have like a deep cut never even know is there until you know it's there. But then you go, and if you're paying attention to when you get scratched, all of a sudden it's like the worst pain in the world. Well, the scratch that you had and you got that you didn't realize, the pain is no different from the one that you did realize. The difference is the amount of energy that you gave to the perception of pain. Hopefully, I'm explaining this right. Well, explaining it so that you can understand it. But so however you perceive the issue, that's how much pain you have, right? So we see this in the body a lot, but you cannot negate actual pain, right? So if your back is hurting, again, your back is like this, right? You're perceiving this pain like a lot because your back is hurting, you're focused on it. So what happens when someone touches your back? Your perception of the pain comes down because you're perceiving that whatever that person's doing is helping your back, and now it feels better, right? But showing you this example, this is the muscle that's letting go. If someone comes and rubs this muscle, they're literally extending you into the worst position. So this is what you get when you go in for a massage. You say your back is hurting. They rub on your back. It feels better. You perceive it better in the moment. And then you walk out and the next day you feel like shit. Or the pain is the same or maybe worse, right? So taking this in my line of work, I focus on the root cause of the issue, right? So if you come to me and you're like, my back is hurting, my first thought is, oh, we need to release your front. So going back to this being the back, if this is the overstretched muscle, this side, if you stretch out this muscle, that's how you get it back to center, right? So again, you're here. This is somebody rubbing your back. It's going like that. This is somebody rubbing your front and it's going like this. So what I do is I balance the body, okay? What I take is when someone tells me what's wrong, I have an understanding enough of the body where I know where to go. But I had to learn it over time. So if we take this model and we can attach the same thing to your eating, to your mind, health in general, right? So I like to talk about healthy emotions. And I love to use me as an example, guys, because no one knows my experience better than me, and I can explain it to you very well. Okay. So I just got out of a 5-year relationship, and I was really depressed last year. So taking this and talking about emotions, right? In my relationship, I it was to the utmost important to be healthy in my decision to leave, to be healthy in my decision to love myself, and also to love my partner through the transition. All of that was healthy to me, and I made sure that through the transition, all of that was going to happen. When I say it was a process, y'all, like some days I was balled up in the corner crying like a baby, but it's okay. So going into healthy relationships, my feelings about my relationship initially when I felt like it was not going to work, I was like, it's all his fault. And I felt like I was right. My perception of the situation, my pain, the way I perceived my pain was that it was his fault. And so it was true, it was real, right? And so as I started connecting with being healthier in my thoughts, in my mind, I realized that I'm the only one who can control me. So my joy, my happiness, my pleasure, my pain, all of the things that annoy me, that's me. I'm the only one who can control that. It's my perception of pain. Transition historically in my life has been like a blow up, right? Like every time I end a relationship, every time I end a friendship, it is like fucking cannonballs. It's like boom. My whole world changes and everything hurts. It's so painful. It's like, it's hard. Ugh. Ugh. But again, that's my perception of the pain. So what I did with my relationship was I went inward and I started to perceive the pain different. And what I found out was that I was in pain and I was projecting that onto my partner. I was changing in 5 years. If y'all could have seen me 5 years ago, you'd be like, is that Cherette? Girl, is that you? Totally different person. And so a part of my pain was that in this transition, I knew I had to let it go, but it was me, right? And there was things that came up that was hurtful for me. One of the things that came up was communication. I don't freaking communicate in my relationships. I haven't been. And a lot of that is how I perceive my partner. So I wasn't feeling comfortable enough to talk to him because his communication style was a trigger for me, right? But if you can follow where I'm at, you can see that the real pain was anger when I was perceiving it first. Like, that was the real pain. I was angry. It was him. I was mad. It's you. Okay. That's real pain, how I perceived it. But as I went deeper, the deeper cause of the pain that I had to release was that I wasn't trusting myself. I had changed. It wasn't for me anymore. It was nothing that he did. I need to work on communication. I can't do that in a relationship with someone that triggers my communication. But it was all these transformations and transitions that I was going into with myself that was causing the pressure in the relationship. And it was my choice to release the pressure or to stay depressed and stay in it. I chose to release it. It was, and I always like to say this when we talk about things, it all sounds peachy and great, like tons of flowers. Excuse me, but it's still a process. Today I'm drinking water, y'all. You should be proud of your girl. It's water in the cup. I just got done working out. I went to a spring. So I actually drive about an hour south to get spring water. It's amazing. I have to do a show about this. I know the first time me and Mama Real talked, we talked about water and why sourcing your water correctly is so important. Excuse me, y'all. This water, the spring water, I have to drink about half as much water when I go get spring water than I do with the regular water to get hydrated. So when you source your water from a correct source, your body actually accepts it and it works with it better. Whole nother show, y'all. So back to it. Like I was saying, it's still a process. So you there we go. Sorry, you guys. So you still have to go through the process. So connecting this back with the body, you go in, your back's hurting, right? The cause of your back is your chest is tight. And in order to relieve the pain that you're perceiving on your back, you have to choose to release your chest. Now, healing is the same. Most of us just don't know how to release the actual pressure point, right? Nobody knows that your back hurting is your body telling you your chest is tight. So you learn different techniques where you can release. And somehow we usually stumble upon, like, one day we do a back bend and your chest release, and then your back feels better. And that's how you figure it out. Same thing like when I was in a relationship. My communication style was crazy, and somehow I figured it out. The way I did that was I went to Vipassana and I sat my ass down. Vipassana is 10 days of meditation, no music, no writing. You don't talk, you don't look at people, you just go inward and you meditate. And when I sat with myself, the root cause of my pain came up. I had daddy issues, which was why I wasn't comfortable with my partner. His communication style was very similar to my mother's, and that triggered me in communication. So I couldn't, in a healthy way, tell him what was going on. It was more root issues that surfaced. And again, I found the trigger point, and you decide to let it go and release it or stay in it. But it's literally the cycle of having a healthy relationship, whether it's with your body, whether it's with your mind, food. Hello, can we talk about food? The reason why I am so passionate about eating and passionate about food is because historically I have been a binge eater. Y'all, I have been binging for so long. I've talked to you guys about this before. I think I shared with you guys the story of when I was selling cheesecakes in middle school, and I ate the whole cheesecake. And I lied to my mom and was like, yo, they just didn't deliver the cheesecakes, but your girl ate them. Okay. So binge eating, it's a process. You can't just binge eat and then be like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna stop binge eating, and then you do it. There's a process, and the process is the same as the muscle and the healthy relationship. You figure out what's the pressure point, right? So I talked about this in observation in another show. If you can observe yourself when you're binge eating, a lot of the times you can realize what your pressure point is. So if you watch yourself binge eat, say you're binge eating and you notice that it starts, every time you have a conversation with a parent, you go and like binge eat on something. Okay. Or every time you see an old friend, an old lover or something, there's pressure points. Literally, there is a pattern of when you binge eat. So the next time you're eating too much, what you do is you realize that you're eating too much and you watch yourself and you see what's your pressure point. Then you go to that root cause. So say I'm a binge eater and my pressure point is that I'm not comfortable with my body. Every time I go look in the mirror or every time I go put on some clothes, I feel like I'm too goddamn fat. So I just go binge eat. So that's my pressure point. So when you realize what your pressure point is, every time I look in the mirror or every time I feel down about myself, now I can go and look at the root cause. So I can observe myself and my pressure point and then choose to let it go. And it's not, letting go is just that simple, but it's also not. So I still have a lot of body issues, right? This came up in I had a full moon meditation with a really close friend. And we were meditating in the full moon, and he showed me a meditation which he calls a smile meditation. Smile meditation is beautiful. You literally meditate and you thank parts of your body for being there. So I felt compelled to thank my fupa. If you guys don't know what a fupa is, it's like that little area of fat up under your stomach. Here, let me show y'all. The fupa right here. This is it. This is my fupa. Say hi, fupa. She was like, hey, y'all. So I had to thank my fupa because she's carried me such a long way. Like, I'm just grateful for her to be there. I'm ready to let her go. But at the same time, it's really hard to let go of something that you're not acknowledging. So during the meditation, I started to acknowledge my fupa. And for the first time, it was like, thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting me. And like for the first time, I was okay with it. Like I looked in the mirror that night and I was like, okay, girl, like I see you. And so in my accepting it, now I'm able to let it go. The first time I lost weight, I got down to 170 and I didn't realize why, but I self-sabotaged because I've been in high school, I was at 220 pounds. And so I was always the fat girl picking on the skinny girls. I was like, I'll never have a space between my legs. I'll never be skinny. I always talk bad about it. So when I started losing weight, I started feeling like the people who I was talking about. And I self-sabotaged because it was a pressure point. And instead of realizing my pressure point and letting it go, I just self-sabotaged. So now I am working more on the root issue. The root issue is that whatever the fuck my body looks like, I'm insecure in it. I'm just not secure in my body. And that's not going to change if I lose 500 pounds or 50 pounds or 10 pounds. I have to be okay with my body wherever I'm at. And so being okay with my FUPA at 200 is going to allow me to get to 150. That's how it works. Your pain, whatever your perception of the pain is, you got to go deeper and go to the root issue and release that. That's how we maintain health. And whether you're talking about it with food, relationships, with you, yourself, your body, loving yourself, is all the same concept, which is why everyone talks about the mind, body, spirit connection, right? Even spiritually, if you want to get up and be happy every day, excuse me, y'all, that's a spiritual journey. And the reason why you're not happy, there's a root cause to that. You create all your misery, all of the misery. We create all of it. Let me stop saying you, because I'm on the boat with y'all, paddling in the mucky water with y'all. It's us, y'all. Okay. So I create all of my misery every day that I wake up and I'm miserable and I'm unhappy. That's me. Okay. So that's the root cause, is I'm unhappy. And the root cause of my unhappiness is such and such. You find the pain point and you let it go. So it's it's always, what do you call it? An infinite cycle. All right. Just because, so going back to the body, because it's easier. You can have a pain in your back, right? You find your pressure point, you release it, and then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna start feeling that arm. You'll be like, dang. My bad, y'all. My phone is going off. People keep calling me. Sorry. But you're going to be like, dang, I never felt the pain in my arm. And the reason why is going back to pain as a perception. You only perceive the pain that is the greatest, right? So if you're in a relationship and your greatest pain is communication, that's what you're going to perceive. Well, once you start working on the communication, if you can with your partner, once you start working on the communication, then you're going to see something else. It's going to be like, dang, hold up now. Now I gotta work on my worthiness. I don't now that I'm communicating, I don't think I'm feeling too worthy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a never ending cycle. Even when your body is in no pain, because you use it every day, you still have to work on the balance. And that's the same thing in your spiritual journey. Even when you have your happiest days, you still have to work on the balance. There's still going to be days when you wake up and you have to choose to be happy. So that's the cycle. Whether you're talking about food and your body, whether you're talking about emotions and your body, your mind, their pain points, you realize what the pain point is, your pressure points. And here's the thing with the body. When you find a pressure point in your body, guess how you release it? You apply pressure. Isn't that crazy? So when I find a pressure point on my clients, I literally apply pressure to it. And when you take the pressure off of it, then the pain releases. So that's why we grow so much spiritually, mentally, in pressured periods. So that's a lot of the times why you can get more work done, because you write up on your deadline. It's like a pressure machine. When you apply pressure to something, that's when you're able to release it and heal. It's why healing is so much work. Whether you're talking about your body, your mind, your spirit, healing's work. The work is the pressure that's applied. Okay? So any time you are in pressure mode, understand that that is a point of healing. You communicate what the pressure point is, you apply that damn pressure, and then you choose in the moment of the pressure application, you choose to let it go. And the release is where the healing is. So it moves around into all spaces, but it's all the same thing. And as you begin to heal and become more healthy, you'll practice it in all areas of your life. And this is why I encourage people to start your health journey wherever feels right. Maybe it's the physical, right? And the physical comes in two parts. The physical can be the physical aspect of maybe working out and moving, but also food can be your physical because food changes your physical. Maybe it's your internal. Maybe you need to learn how to meditate or get your ass on a yoga mat. But again, excuse me, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this workout is real, y'all. I just went in there and did the damn thing. Again, yoga is touching on inner and physical. So a lot of the times you'll see when you're going to release and heal, things will be on two sides. Maybe you're releasing physically and emotionally. So whatever feels healthy for you, just start there. Maybe it's going on some walks. Maybe you just need to go for a walk outside. And what you'll start to see is when your body moves, you're able to release better, you're able to feel better. That goes in the spirit. Maybe nature puts you in a more spiritual place. So wherever you start your health journey, it's different for everyone. Some people got to work out. Some people have to eat better. Some people have to meditate. But it all starts to come in that circle of health. That's the holistic approach to health. And it doesn't have to be, you just have to apply a little pressure. I'm telling y'all, when I'm on a client and I find, here's the thing, if you are on the right spot, you only need a little pressure to release. If you're on the right spot. Now, if you're on the wrong spot, you're going to apply heavy pressure. The heavy pressure, Lord. Oh God. That's the pressure that, the therapist be like, let me put my elbow in your back. They apply all of that pressure because they're in the wrong spot. So when you find the right spot, all you need, literally, I be like this on my clients, like, boom. And they be like, oh, I've been waiting for that. It's just a little bit of pressure. So if you are in a situation where you feel extreme pressure, go to the root cause. And that's where you apply the pressure and let it go. So pain is just a perception. And when you feel the pain, you go to the root cause and then you apply a little pressure and you let it go. And that's it. I learned that through body work. It's really amazing. When you get into the science of healing, it makes so much sense. A lot of the times when we talk about spirit, when we talk about all these things that are not, what's the word I'm looking for? Tangible. When we talk about things that aren't tangible, it's harder to grasp the concept. But in body work, in science is very tangible. So in learning healing through the body and through science, it has made it a tangible process for me, okay? So now when I go to my food, my relationships, my inner work, I can take the same science of healing through the body and apply that to other areas, and it makes sense. And that's all you do in healing because it's all the same circle. Healing's 360, it's holistic, it's the whole thing. So yeah, that's my TED Talk for today. My Cherette talk. I don't even know Ted. I don't know no Ted. Who is Ted, y'all? I don't even know. My Cherette talk for today. So I am not doing show notes in my newsletter anymore, but you can still sign up for it at www.justtheletterbhealthynow.com. I'm revamping because I want a more teachable approach to food and body. So I'm going to teach you guys more. So I'm now working on a freebie. And the freebie that I'm working on is 5 things that you can change in your diet, swap out in your diet right now and lead a healthier life. So sign up for my email list as soon as that comes out. I'm going to shoot it to everyone. And I'm going to do notes on it for everyone who signed up on the email list now. If you're signed up before I launch that freebie, you're going to get some extras on it. If you wait until the freebie comes, when you give me your email address, you'll just get the freebie. So I wanted to incentivize you guys for fucking with your girl, okay? So go to my website and sign up for that. And that's all I got for you guys. I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love all of you, and make sure you are shining your light, applying that pressure, and letting that shit go. Okay? Love you guys. Have a great Wellness Wednesdays, and I will see you guys next week.